Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all Missouri students, sponsored by the Missouri Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening. Be sure to check out the full schedule at MOACAC.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, MOACAC.org. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters.
Sorry everyone, trying to get the screen shared here. So hello and welcome to our Archer Live session. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you taking time out of your day to learn about the various benefits of attending St. Louis Community College. A few reminders before we get started. Today's session is being recorded again, and it can be viewed at a later date. We will have a Q&A at the end of the presentation, so please feel free to submit questions throughout, and we will make sure to cover them all at the end. To get started with introductions tonight, my name is Brittany Fisher, and I am a recruiter for STLCC stationed at our Wildwood campus.
My name's Mindy. I am located on the Merrimack location, but currently in my kitchen.
My name is Markel Robinson. I am located at the Florissant Valley campus.
And my name is Robert Bedell, and I am a recruiter at Forest Park campus.
Perfect, and thank you Markel, Mindy, and Robert for joining us tonight. We will be talking a little bit about STLCC in our various locations, our course modalities or ways to learn, campus life, athletics, programs, cost, value, financial aid, and steps to enroll. STLCC opened in 1962 with only one location and grew to accommodate the needs of the community with 4 main campuses and 2 education centers. Today, we are the largest higher education institution in the region, truly empowering students, expanding minds, and changing lives. We have an average class size of 23 with a 19-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio. Fun fact, over 50% of households in the St. Louis area have at least one STLCC alum in them. With 4 main campuses, we are pretty spread out all over the STL region. Opening in 1971, our Florissant Valley campus is nestled in 108 acres of rolling and beautifully wooded hills in Ferguson, Missouri. This campus is known for excellence in engineering and technology and is home to St. Louis's only 2-year biotechnology program. Built where the old Highland Park amusement park was located, just steps away from the world-famous St. Louis Zoo, Forest Park, and the St. Louis Science Center, our Forest Park campus sits in the heart of the city. A competitive allied health program that feeds the city's major health centers, a Cisco Academy, and top-flight culinary school all call Forest Park home. Named after the Merrimack River, our Merrimack campus is located right off of Big Bend and has 78 acres in the bustling heart of Kirkwood, close to the Magic House. This campus houses excelling programs like physical therapy assistant, horticulture, and a nationally recognized arts program. Our newest main campus, Wildwood, is a state-of-the-art green energy facility that has LEED gold level certification. Leadership in energy and environmental design, exposing 90% of the building to natural light. Right off of Highway 109 in Manchester, this campus houses programs like behavioral health support, deaf communication studies, EMT, and nursing. We also have 2 education centers, one in South County, and then our William J. Harrison Education Center located in North St. Louis City. We have a corporate college in Bridgeton, and our Center for Workforce Innovation is close to our Flo Valley campus and houses aerospace, large equipment, and hands-on technical training labs. As you can see, we have multiple locations to fit our students' needs, and once you apply to STLCC, you can take classes at any location. We even provide our students with free Metro passes or U passes for the bus and free parking at all of our locations. We like to think of STLCC as a quality education accessible to all at an affordable rate. Now I would like to welcome Markel to tell you a little bit more about what STLCC has to offer.
Okay, so I'm going to go over the ways to learn. Due to COVID, things have changed just a little bit of how classes are taught at St. Louis Community College, and so I'm going to go over just the different styles that we do have. So the first one is going to be our live virtual lecture class. That class is online. It meets at a certain time. So when you're looking in on the interactive class schedule, when you search your class on the interactive class schedule, you will see LVL, and then you will also see that that has a certain time. So prime example, it could be English 101. It can meet Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it would meet at, let's just say, 9 to 9:50. Our second way is our traditional way, the face-to-face class. Right now it's social distance, so classes are, some classes are taught on campus. We do have 10% of our classes taught on campus. Most of those are our lab classes, and then we have a few that will be like a hybrid class I will get to in a second. Those are taught traditionally on campus, how it is in high school right now. Third option is going to be our traditional online. The difference between the traditional online and the live virtual live class is that the online doesn't have a certain time or a date that it meets. I tell every student, make sure you check your syllabus to see exactly when the work needs to be turned in, what day and what time it needs to be turned in. Prime example would be when I took classes online. Um, our work had to be due on Sunday by 11:59. All work had to be submitted. So you just need to make sure you read the syllabus, see how the teacher wants to teach. And then going back to what I said about hybrid class are broken down to three different ways. So you either have the face-to-face with the live virtual lecture, which means is that, you come to campus one day, and then the live virtual, once again, you will meet at a certain time. The face-to-face online, which you come to campus and then you will get your work done online, whatever the teacher wants to be done. And then we have the live virtual and the online, which is both of them online. One meets at a certain time, and then the other one will just be whenever your work needs to be done. And so our next slide is going to talk about some of the fun social part of St. Louis Community College. We have over 100 programs, clubs, and different organizations you can choose from. The good thing about this is that once you are a member of the STLCC family, two things can happen. One, that you can join any club at any campus. Just because you attend, say, the Merrimack campus, does not mean that you can't join the art club at Florissant Valley or at the Wildwood campus. Also, if you see a campus that you do not identify with, or if you want to start a new organization, or if there's an organization that's on your another campus you would like to get started on campus, it requires, I believe, 50, it's either 25 or 50 signatures from students, and then 3 faculty or staff members that have to sign. You can get all the information through our campus life department. We do also have a student government. We do have, a campus activity board that does planned events for the students right now. They're doing a lot of things virtual, and you can always get the information on that. And then the other side of the coin is that we do offer sports. And so, as you can see at the bottom, the Forest Park location does have the men's and women's basketball. Florissant Valley has the men's soccer. Merrimack has volleyball, baseball, softball, and women's soccer. Um, that does not mean that you have to attend Forest Park to play on the basketball team. That just means is that that's where your practices will be. That's where your games will be held at. So you could attend Wildwood and still play for one of our sports teams. And just like to add that when you are trying out for the teams, just remember that you are competing with students from every location that are trying to play that same sport. So keep that in mind when you are wanting to try out for a team that is not campus based. It's one college. You just have different campuses. And so talk about some of our different ways of learning, I guess we'll say. So we have three different options for you as far as with St. Louis Community College. So we have the students that are interested in going to get their bachelor's degrees, like transfer options. This will take you 2 years, complete your 60 credit hours. So if you have plans on transferring to a foreign institution, this will be the one that you would like to choose from. Most of our students, our most popular degree is our general transfer studies degree. Some degrees we do not offer, so then you would fall into the general transfer studies degree. We do have, for students who do not know what they want to major in, the Core 42 is what you will fall in. It's basically getting your gen eds out the way and then getting those transferred to a foreign institution. If you are planning to transfer to whether it be a public foreign institution or a private institution, I do strongly suggest that you do two things. One, make sure that you're speaking to the transfer coordinator at that college to let them know, your name and your plans are to attend St. Louis Community College to get your associate's degree, or, I want to be there for a year and I have plans on transferring. What classes should I take to transfer to count towards my degree? And then also there's a website called transferology.com. You can, it's a free website, you log in, create a profile, and when you plug in the classes that you're taking, it will let you know every college in the country that will accept that credit. So keep that in mind. The second option for those who do not want, you want something quick, you want to get in and get into the workforce. These are career technical programs. And so these are designed for 60 credit or less, get the certificate, get the specialization, and go right into the workforce. And this actually, for people who actually have a job working, and let's say you're looking to get a promotion, you want to move up, then you can, this would be a perfect degrees to choose from. And then our last is going to be our job accelerated programs. These are designed, no degree required. Most of these are 6 to 8 weeks. You're in and out, and you go right into the workforce. So one of our most popular ones is going to be our Boeing program. With the Boeing program, it is a 6-week intensive training program. There are 4 tests that you have to pass to get 70% or higher. And then once you pass that test, you move on. If you fail that test for any reason, you are removed from the program. We have CDL, we have personal trainer. We have a lot of programs for that. And a lot of these programs we do have that are free. And they do have the funding. They do give you funding for them. I do encourage you, if you are interested in doing our job accelerator programs, get with the program coordinator that is over that program. That way they can get you all the information that you would need to be successful at STLCC.
St. Louis Community College is truly a wonderful value. When people think of a community college, some of the first things that may come to mind is savings and affordability, and that's certainly true for St. Louis Community College. We're about a third of the cost of public universities here in Missouri, which in turn saves you a great deal of money every year. Our current cost per credit hour for the 2021 year is $116.50 for in-district students, which is such an affordable rate for your education. If anyone is currently still in high school or heading up to senior year, we do offer dual enrollment opportunities as well. We have a reduced rate for dual enrollment students at $67 per credit hour. This is a great opportunity for students that want to get a jump start on their college career while still in high school. And with community colleges, like I said before, affordability is often that first thing that comes to mind, but it's not just about the savings. It's about the value you're getting With St. Louis Community College, you're getting small classes, which make for a wonderful educational experience. You also get many involvement opportunities, such as student clubs and organizations and sports that Markel talked about. And also just lots of different things that you can study while you're with us. So the possibilities are really endless when it comes to getting started at St. Louis Community College. As you are thinking about registering for classes at St. Louis Community College, you may be thinking of how to get help with the cost of those classes through financial aid and scholarships. The gateway to apply for financial aid is the FAFSA, which stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid, and that opened on October 1st. The FAFSA is really the start to learning your eligibility for different federal and state aid programs, which includes grants such as the Pell Grant, work study, federal loans, and the A+ scholarship program. The A+ scholarship program is considered financial aid, so you are required to complete the FAFSA each year in order to maintain these benefits. The FAFSA is tied to a certain academic year, so it's really important that you complete the FAFSA each year that you're with us. You can also apply for scholarships through our STLCC Foundation. We have very generous alumni donors throughout the community that set up different scholarship funds for our students. So just know that there are scholarship opportunities outside of need-based financial aid. And know that after you apply to St. Louis Community College and complete your FAFSA, you'll be assigned a financial aid counselor so they can help you through the process of obtaining that financial aid. And as you can see on the previous screen, our code is at the top right and an extra link at the bottom for more information on financial aid. And to help with that, we have our FAFSA Frenzy events. These are events that we put on. It's a chance for you and your family to receive free and professional assistance on completing the FAFSA, which again is needed to be eligible for federal and state financial aid. All of these events are virtual and RSVP is needed. So to reserve a spot for a FAFSA Frenzy session, please contact the email address assigned to the session that you would like to attend. Along with the virtual FAFSA Frenzy sessions, STLCC is offering other virtual events as well. We want to make sure that we're letting our students, counselors, parents, and community know that we're still available to help even though we're not able to do so in person. With that, we are offering several virtual events such as Archer Live Sessions, which is the presentation that we currently are going through now for anyone that maybe wasn't able to attend tonight or would like a refresher later on. Those are available. We're also offering early college options. This event is designed to inform students and their families about the various opportunities St. Louis Community College has to offer students that are wanting to jumpstart their college career while still in high school, and how they can earn a college degree by utilizing dual enrollment. We also are offering an A+ information night. This is for the student that is planning to use the A+ scholarship at St. Louis Community College. They will learn that what steps you need to make sure that you're getting that A+ scholarship and that you're maintaining that throughout your time with us. And then also we have our Health Sciences Showcase. This event will highlight several career opportunities in the Health Sciences program, such as nursing, respiratory care, physical therapist assistant, surgical technology, and more. So be sure to join this event to learn more about the sciences at STLCC and how you can get started. There's additional event details at the link at the bottom. And next, Robert's gonna talk to us about how to enroll.
All right, so you heard all these wonderful things and opportunities that you can have at St. Louis Community College, and now we're going to go through the process that you would have to go through to be able to be accepted into St. Louis Community College and register for courses and get well on your way to expanding your knowledge base and growing in your own personal and professional life. So there's a few steps. We're going to go through them one at a time. The first one would be to apply and get connected. So there's a few things that come with that, but the first part of that is to go to stlcc.edu, and then there's an apply now button, and you'll fill out an application for the term that you're wanting to attend. And once you finish that application, you will receive an email that confirms that we received your application, and then shortly after that you'll get another one that has your A number, which is what we use to log your information in our systems, as well as it allows us to help you out and assist you in the next steps of the process. As was mentioned earlier, the second step to that is going to be to apply for financial aid. We highly encourage you to do that sooner rather than later, because it is something that tends to take a bit longer than the rest of the steps within the process. And right there again is the FAFSA code 002469. And so you would go fill that out if you wanted to find the application that's also on the STLCC financial aid webpage as well. All right, so you've applied, you've gotten your acceptance, your information, and you've filled out your FAFSA and started all the paperwork with that. Your next part is to send transcripts and submit test scores. So if you're submitting a high school transcript, you're going to reach out to your high school counselor. They're going to have information that will allow them to send your transcript to St. Louis Community College, and they will take care of that for you. If you're going for college transcripts, those have to go through websites such as the Clearinghouse, and so that will then process those transcripts over to the college. Those can't be given by the individual. There's something that has to be sent over virtually just as part of the process. And then as well, your ACT and SAT scores or any other scores for AP that you may have, those would be sent over to the college as well. Those things are going to be utilized to determine your placement for some of your courses, and so we want to be able to have that. And then the next part of that is to take the placement test, which is the AccuPlacer. But depending on what things you're coming in with on your transcripts, that could depend on whether or not you have to take that. So feel free to reach out to advising to determine whether or not you are needing to be able to take the placement test. That is something that is being done virtually at this point, and we also do offer it on campus if you would like to go to one of the campuses and take it, but you do have to register for those ahead of time, and there's limited spots, so you want to be able to get ahead of that as well. All right, so I mentioned meeting with advising, and so that is being done virtually as well. And so I'll get to some communication and ways to interact with other departments, but essentially they'll be on a call similar to this, except for through Blackboard, which is our course system for you to be able to take all of your classes virtually. And they will walk through all of the paperwork that they have for you and decide which courses you will need to take based on what you're wanting to achieve while you're at St. Louis Community College, and to ensure that you're going in the right direction. They'll also show you how to go about getting through the application or the registration system, since it'll be your first time, and then help you get into your classes that are available. And then from there, you're going to set up your payment plan. So hopefully at this point, if you've applied for federal student aid, that stuff is processed and you can know that that's being taken care of, and you just claim whatever's been given to you based on what you filled out. Otherwise, you have a couple of other options. You have cash, credit, check, or a payment plan. So you would set that up with the cashier's office or through your banner self-service as well. And so once you have that set up, you should be pretty much good to go, other than getting your books and other materials and getting prepared for your class. Know that college is not something that you want to take lightly. You're paying for it, and so try to be as prepared as possible and take the time that you should to be able to take your courses and do well in your classes. So I mentioned different ways that you can interact with the different departments. So all of these departments that are listed here have a chat option. And so if you go to the website there, stlcc.edu/chat, then you will see a link to a chat for all of these departments. So if you had questions in terms of the process because you remembered hearing about it here, but you couldn't quite remember, there's an admissions enrollment services chat to be able to take care of that. If you know that you need to go to advising, then that chat would be there for you as well. Additionally, counseling, financial aid, library services, the Student Assistance Program TRIO, and any veteran services that you may be looking into. All right, so that is the end of our presentation. This is kind of a general overview. So this is your chance to ask any more specific questions that you may have. And you have lots of knowledge here to be able to provide you as much context as we can. And we would be glad to assist you. If you all have any specific programs that you might be interested in or curious if we have, feel free to throw that in there. We can always provide you more context with specific programs as well.
And while we wait for a few of those, I would like to share that following us on social media, especially right now in our virtual world, is a really good chance just to kind of get to know exactly what all the campuses have to offer. So whether that be like our Fast for Frenzy events that are coming up, or our game show nights that we have hosted by Campus Life, all of these events are open to not only our students, but our community as well. And we love to have prospective students join us for all those different events. So just follow us on any of these social media platforms, and you can really see what you can be a part of as a student before ever even stepping foot on campus. I will also share our contact slide again. So this is really good information. And if you guys want to maybe just take a moment, snap a picture of it, or just take note of our contact information. We are your go-to people at our campuses, and we are more than happy to help assist in any step of the way. So whether that be, help you with your application, all the way up to make sure that you're in contact with the correct financial aid representative and things like that. So go ahead, take a moment, and then we're going to go ahead and review some of these questions and start going over them.
All right, it looks like we have a question. So the question is, so if we are enrolling for fall or summer 2021, do we set up an advising meeting soon? Robert, do you want to take that one?
Sure. So essentially what you'll do is you'll apply and make sure you have your student number, which would be in that second email that I mentioned after you apply. And then from there, I would encourage you to start your FAFSA. And then once you have all of that in place and your test scores are being sent over to the college, I would wait for those to be in there, because advising is going to be able to look at those and determine and make sure that whether or not taking the placement test is something that you would need to do. And so you want to be able to get as much of that information to the college before setting up your advising appointment. Good news is that that set of the application just opened on the 1st, and so you're going to be well ahead of the curve in terms of getting that stuff done. As long as you start that as soon as you can, you'll be ahead of the curve.
Thanks, Robert. Something that I would like to add there is that I know it seems early, but for some of our seniors that might be watching this, our application is already open for that fall 2021 semester. And registration actually opens in April or at the end of March. So getting started now is actually just going to make it a little easier down the road. All those things that you can get accomplished now, like your FAFSA in that application, which is free and online, will just honestly make it a lot easier at the end of the day whenever you get down to registration day, just to have all of that stuff in place.
Okay, I also see another question here talking about the new building at Forest Park. I'm going to go ahead and refer this to Robert again because he's located on the Forest Park campus. Can you tell us a little bit about the new building?
Sure. So last fall, we opened a brand new allied health science building, and so for all of those health science programs that were mentioned earlier, whether that's nursing or respiratory care or any of those that you might have heard of earlier, all of the equipment is brand new, state of the art. It's very, very similar, if not a direct replica of what you would have within a hospital. That the programs that are in that building also have connections with the hospitals around the St. Louis area. And an interesting fact about all of the students who are going through nursing programs now, even if all of those students got a job, we would still only be able to support about 90% of the need within the St. Louis area. And so we're going to continue to grow that program. The nursing program, as of this fall, is being provided on all 4 of the campuses. And so there's a lot of great opportunity to use real life tools and things like that. They have a mock ambulance that you can practice kind of doing things like IVs while you're hitting turbulence on the road and bumps and everything else, so that you can do that in a safer environment while also still being able to get that experience before you go kind of live, if you will. So all of those things are provided for those programs, and like I said, it's something that not a lot of places have at this point, and so it would be a great opportunity for you all to learn if that's an interest area for you all.
And I would like to add that once we are past COVID and we go back to doing tours, we do have the options at any of our locations for you to do campus tours and get tour facilities. And some departments will let you do some light hands-on experiences as well.
Great, thanks so much. Looks like we have another question here regarding selective admissions programs. Can you guys talk about the process of getting into a selective admissions program, what that means, how's that different from just a general transfer studies?
Markel, you want that one, or you want me to take it?
It doesn't matter.
You can have it.
Okay, what's the question again?
Can you talk a little bit about selective admissions programs and how that's different between general transfer studies, just the additional steps that you may need to go through?
Okay, so the difference between I say it this way. So some of our programs are some of our more or less our allied health programs. They are you just can't declare a major. You have to. You, so I use nursing for a prime example. You can't just come and say, "Oh, I want to do the nursing program." You will fall into the general transfer studies program, and then once you complete those prereqs for those programs, then you can apply to get into the program. Versus um, business, um, what other engineering, some of those programs you could just walk in and say, "This is what I want to do," and you can immediately start getting your gen eds out the way and taking those entry level courses to get into those into that program. That is the difference. I would say make sure that you are always speaking with academic advising, going over the program that you want to do, and just make sure that you are completing the prereqs. And then sometimes the prereqs does change. At one point, PE was a requirement for the nursing program. Now it is not a requirement anymore. And then always keep in mind that at St. Louis Community College, financial aid will only pay for classes that are geared to your major, to your program. So.
Thank you, Marco. Another question that I am seeing in here has to do with scholarships. So can Can we just talk maybe a little bit more about what type of scholarships a student could maybe get at STLCC?
Yeah, so we have different kinds of scholarships. So we have need-based scholarships where you fill out the FAFSA and it's determined that there's a certain amount of eligibility for aid that you have. And so we have aid that will help you with that, but we also have different financial aid, such as a book scholarship that help you pay for different materials that you may need, including books. So it just really depends on what you look at, but on our website, we do have a certain page that you can go to, and it'll list out all the ones that you're eligible for. So it makes it really simple to see which ones you should apply for.
Thanks, Mindy. And I can add to that. I know we have a lot of scholarships that go through like our board of trustees, and I know we have a lot of scholarships that come from our STLCC Foundation. I know one of the scholarships that I got whenever I was a student was our Bowling for Scholars book scholarship, which helped me pay for my books. I was an A+ student, so those were really the only costs that I was concerned about were my book costs. So having that scholarship come in was extremely helpful, and the financial aid counselor that I spoke with actually turned me on to that scholarship and, you know, handed me the application right then and there. And then I was awarded that scholarship. So we definitely have tons of different scholarships from all angles, something for all of our students.
And if you, I tell people all the time that look for scholarships, if you think you'll qualify, just go ahead and apply. You'd be surprised what you will get approved for, scholarships that you would get approved for. So if you think you apply, just apply for all of them, and then you might get lucky and get some or none. You know, just how things go. But I would definitely apply for anyone I feel like I qualify for.
Good addition, Markel. I would also say some scholarships are as simple as, you know, going on our scholarship website and just clicking a box that says you're applying for it. Other scholarships, they need more like information. They might possibly need like an interview or maybe like a short essay, something like that, or even a couple of recommendations. I know one scholarship that I got as a student, it was required to attend a banquet to receive the scholarship. So just keep an eye out for those and make sure that you are submitting any additional requirements or documents that they are needing. You know, a simple 200-word essay could have been the difference of me getting a scholarship and not getting a scholarship. So you just want to keep an eye on those. And again, we do have plenty of people on campus to help. I know with a few of my scholarship essays, I actually went to our writing center, and the writing center and our tutors like helped me lay it all out and made sure that I was, you know, submitting my best work.
Thanks, guys. So it looks like we have some time for maybe one more question. You guys have been having some great questions. This last question is, which campus should I go to? So we get this question a lot as recruiters as we go into the high schools, and it is important to note that some programs are specific to certain locations. For example, culinary arts is on the Forest Park campus. Physical therapy, occupational therapy, that's going to be at Merrimack. So for specific programs like that, sometimes they're only located on certain campuses. General ed you can do on any of our campuses. And if you talk to any one of us, we can tell you that each campus is different from one another, which makes it so great being a part of St. Louis Community College as a whole. So really it just depends on which program you're doing, and maybe location. You can go to multiple campuses as well. So we're one college with multiple campuses. Does anyone want to add to that?
Yeah, I'll add to that as well. Also, if you are, just because that program, the culinary arts program is at Forest Park, doesn't mean that you have to start there. You can start at any one of our locations. So if you have a problem with transportation, just trying to get your feet wet with college, getting adjusted and accustomed to it, I would encourage you, whatever campus is close to you, maybe start getting your gen eds out the way. And then when you get to the point where you get to your upper division classes where Those would be the classes you could only take to finish. Then you would actually have to transfer well, transfer is the wrong word. You would have to register for classes at the Forest Park location to complete that culinary arts degree program.
I can also add to that. So whenever Markel says gen ed requirements, I just want to clarify there, those are like your core education requirements. So those would be like your history classes, your math classes, English, communication, just those entry level classes that almost every degree requires. Okay, so if we don't have any other questions, I'll go ahead and put our information back up here. One last thing, if anybody wants to, snap a picture of it. Again, I would like to thank you for joining us tonight. Have a great evening. Our vision at St. Louis Community College is to be a national leader and model institution for inclusive and transformative education that strengthens the communities we serve through the success of our students. We want you guys to know that we are here to help in any way, shape, or form that we can. A lot of us have also been students at STLCC, so if you want a student perspective, or just to have any sort of conversations about any one of our campuses, go ahead and reach out. I don't know if anybody has anything else to add, but again, I just want to thank you guys for taking the time out. I know it was a late night, and yeah, have a good night.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thank you so much, Markel, Robert, Brittany, and Mindy, for presenting us some great information. For those of you in the session, I just have one final screen for you. Let me go ahead and click over to that. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of difficulty. We want to thank you so much for joining us this evening at the Virtual College Exploration. We would also like to let you know there'll be a short quiz, a short questionnaire afterwards, and you're welcome to sign up for more sessions at MOACAC.org. This recording will be available in approximately 1 week at www.moacac.org. Thank you so much for coming this evening.